Hello, welcome in Abentur, Adventures in Lollygagging. I almost completely forgot how I intro this, and I was frantically searching my notes during that title song because I don't speak German that well, despite taking several years of it in high school. How are we doing today, y'all? We doing okay? Doing okay?
Pretty good.
Wow.
Thanks for asking.
It felt very forced, guys. Come on. It's going to be like a concert where I have to wait till everyone gives a more impassioned cheer. Anyone else hate that?
God, yeah, I hate that.
I could eat the ass out of a dead rhinoceros.
So if you're in chat, you've seen a quote. Now you've heard a quote. Jeff has been obsessing with a film that doesn't feature any.
I should have
haunted houses.
Give me 3 of these.
Doesn't feature any horror elements to it. But it is a good film. But wrong genre there, buddy.
I mean, a favorite's a favorite. I don't understand why haters gotta hate.
You crossed the line. If people trusted you, and they died, you got to go down.
All right, Melissa, since you're calling me a hater, what is your favorite Catherine Bigelow film that is not Point Break?
I actually, I mean, it's not necessarily my kind of movie, but I liked Hurt Locker. From the story it told, I guess. So that's what I'll say.
That's your favorite Catherine Bigelow film?
I am not going to change my answer just because you put an inflection in your question. Nice try. Maybe someone else will give you the answer you're looking for, but that's the answer that you're going to get from me.
Log, have you seen any Catherine Bigelow film?
No, but I'll say Point Break solely because Jeff has convinced me how good it is.
It is pretty good. It is pretty good.
Yes. It is. Look, Bodhi, people are dead. The ride is over.
All right.
This mashup is very interesting.
If you had to be a character in Point Break, which character would you be?
Oh, Bodhi for sure.
Who? Bodhi?
Bodhi. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Patrick Swayze in his prime. What's not to like there?
Honestly.
How about you, Ashley?
Oh, I have zero idea. So we're going to say Point Break. I'm just going to.
Character. Have you not even seen it either?
Nope.
Oh, no.
It's on my to-watch list. Here, let me look.
Oh, it's
Just
so
say
good.
Pappas.
I'm going to say Gary Busey as Pappas.
Pappas is pretty good.
Excellent choice. Cliffs on both sides. I'm not going to paddle my way to New Zealand. Come on, compadre. Come on.
What are we doing here, guys?
When are you
Let's just put a wrap on this and go home.
We're going to have a movie watch party.
All right.
We're about to have 2 hours of not laughing at surfing related things. So we get this out.
Palate cleanser.
We get we get that out of our system, and then we go into other things.
Being terrified.
I would just like to point out that I don't think anyone has the ability anywhere near comparable to myself to make introductions as awkward as I make them. And the way I phrase that is proof of my ability to do an awkward introduction. So let's go into our session.
When you find the thing, when you find your thing, you do your thing and you be the best at it. And so you're really, and I'm helping, I'm helping you.
You are saying the FBI is going to pay me to learn how to surf?
Take the skin off chicken.
Take the skin off my chicken, sir.
Oh, God. All right. So last session, what the hell did we do last session? We started with the group leaving the motel room that they were in and immediately discovering that Zander was just missing, that he had completely disappeared. There was no sign of him. No one heard a door close. No one actually went back to look for him either. They're just like, yeah, fuck it, he's gone. And they continued on. You traveled deeper and further into the darkest house where you came across this library, but it's really a facade of a library. I don't remember if I'm saying that word right because I remember I said it wrong as a kid. Now I can't remember the right way to say the word. Jeff, how do you say facade?
It's facade. It's
Facade.
You just said it. You just-
Sorry,
it
that
was
was
one of
my
the two.
stomach. I apologize. I'm hungry.
Jeff is just trolling me now.
I'm so hungry. I could eat the ass out of it.
How do you know what I
Should
had
get
for
me 3.
lunch today?
You found the facade of a library with a whole bunch of fake books. I had a secret door in there as well, but you chose not to go in there because there was a living shadow of sorts that seemed to have some mannerisms as the old archivist you all used to work for, Shirley Harlock. It did not acknowledge, it did not verbally respond to you. It did not acknowledge that it was Harlock or not, but it did point you towards a different door. You went inside that door and you found yourselves basically face to face with the dead body of Zander. But it looked like Zander had been dead for a very long time, years and years, where he just completely decayed. Frieda, you went to essentially loot the corpse. I believe you were trying to search his pockets because we really like Zander around here. The body fell on you and essentially disintegrated into dust.
I
And then,
consumed bits of Zander. I breathed that in.
You are still covered in corpse dust.
Yeah.
You searched the rest of the room and you found a secret door where as soon as you opened it, it was like opening the Tupperware cabinet where just everything came piling out. Cue the In the Air Tonight. As every...
Oh, stop
Oh,
that.
goodness gracious, mute yourself. Oh, goodness, you destroyed your mic. You know what this means. This means I can fill with Johnny Utah. Yes. I am an FBI agent.
As
You still
these
Are you
bits and
back?
pieces fell out of the secret door, they composed themselves into this mummified corpse that attacked you all. Lucian surprisingly bodied it, despite his frail frame. And you all managed to destroy it before returning to the facade of a library where Zander was just standing there as if he'd been there the entire time. Zander, we're going to start with you. You remember being in the motel room. You remember the group of archivists leaving this motel room and entering into this spiral staircase. However, as soon as you walked through the door, you didn't find yourself in that same spiral staircase room. You found yourself in the front steps of St. Catherine's Church. And it was decorated just like you saw that day at the Donauer farm, the day you found your knife. There are garlands and white flowers trailing along the pews, as if it's set up for a wedding. But on the altar where you saw the knife embedded in a cake, instead of a cake, there's a body. It's dressed in all white and it's draped over the altar, all white except for the large red bloodstains surrounding that cake knife. It's embedded in the chest of the body and you can't see the face from this angle as it's draped over the other side of the altar. What are you doing?
Looking side to side, walking down the aisle, step. I'll grab the body by the shoulder, flip it over.
You look side to side and you start walking down this long aisle. You are alone in this church. You look and you scan before you walk in. But as you get a few steps in, about halfway down the aisle, you hear that familiar voice of Gil Ravage. You want to leave this house with me, don't you? You want us to be together forever, right?
That is the plan.
And as you look towards the voice, you see her. She's right behind you, inches behind you. She's got those wide-set, almond-shaped eyes. She's got the spiral curls draped down her face and the pale white skin. If you want to leave this house, one of your friends must die. But it'll be a quick death. And then it can just be the two of us again. Like cake and candy. So, who will it be? Who's going to die, Zander?
If I must say die, I'm escaping with some, no?
You can escape with some, but it'll cost at least one. Don't you want to be with me forever?
Hmm. I'm not sure if I can really kill one of them.
You don't necessarily have to do the deed yourself. We can work up to that. For now, it's enough for you to simply decide.
If one of them dying means I get out of here.
It means we get out of here.
We get out of here. If it's the only way, I shall pay the price.
And who will you pay with?
Must I choose now?
It helps to harden the heart ahead of time. It's part of the hunt.
Zander, that Frieda. I believe it must be her.
Yes. Good. Now take the knife.
I'll reach towards the knife, pull it out of the body it's in.
You have to walk the rest of the aisle towards the altar. And as you get closer, you get a better look at this body. You see the familiar face of Frieda Dürer. Cold, dead, pale, bloody chest, the knife sticking out. You grab it.
Grab the knife.
And it so effortlessly slides out of her corpse, as if you were cutting cake. As you pull the knife out, your surroundings immediately shift, and you find yourself in a room that's unfamiliar to you. You find yourself in this library of sorts. There's one wall that's it's like 2 stories tall, and it's shelves all along the wall. There's a fancy ornate wooden desk. There's a globe in the corner that's cracked open as if it would hold a cask, a decanter of whiskey, but there's nothing in there right now. You hear a door click open, and you see your companions. Lucian, I believe we said that you were the one who was entering this library first. You see Zander standing there in the center of this room, holding his knife, blood dripping from it onto the floor. You see that the blood is dripping onto carvings on the floor as well, something that wasn't there before. You all inspected every inch of this room, and it looks like someone etched something into the wooden panels of the floor.
Who did you kill, Zander?
Thank goodness you guys are here. I was defending myself. Got splitted from the party.
We saw you. Well, we saw your tweet. Well, good to see you breathing.
So, Stephen,
Naveen, yes, I know exactly where you're going with this. You have no recognition of Zander whatsoever. This is a complete stranger to you.
So just some guy here with a bloody cake knife.
Bloody knife, yes. Carved etchings on the floor, and it seems that your friends recognize it.
Didn't you say the corpse was Zander?
Frieda comes out coughing
so.
corpse dust.
What do you mean a corpse was me? I'm here alive.
No, we saw you very much not alive earlier.
Are you?
Who am I? I am Zander. Do you not remember Naveen? We've been friends since childhood.
No, I would remember someone I was friends with from childhood. But they seem to know you and they seem to have lost you upstairs. But then we found someone they said was your body, but I guess it was somebody else's body. It's just behind us.
It seems a lot has happened since we split. I'll fill you in here if you fill me on your side.
Emily's going to take her extendable baton and like extend it and just sort of like poke Xander's shoulder.
Zander, you're being poked in the shoulder with an extendable baton.
Is something the matter, Emily?
Just making sure. It was very distressing to see what seemed to be your corpse hanging previously. Do you want to wipe off that knife, maybe?
Yes.
That...
Come on in. Take a look. There's nothing here. And I'll wrap it up.
What did you have to
Wide
defend
berth.
yourself against? There was a mummy in there that we had to defend ourselves against. What did you have to defend yourself against?
I couldn't see. It's dark, but a creature came lunging at me. Took care of it quickly. Not sure if it ran away.
It's a good thing you had that knife.
Obviously you said there's some different stuff about the room. What's carved into the floor?
Yes. So you see, Frieda, since you're the one looking at it first, go ahead and oh, that was supposed to pop something up for you, but it doesn't look like it did. All right, so you see it looks to be the same sort of writing, the same handwriting, but it's definitely carved into the ground, and it reads, "Dark magic and old gods will not save you. The house is darker and older than either one."
Xander, were you trying dark magic?
And was the thing that attacked you a god? How could you have killed a god?
No,
Tough questions.
I think it's the doorway. The plans that we have.
Mm-hmm.
The house
We
is
are
trying
still
to
following the
ring.
The light up, right?
Yeah.
Go where the ring lights up?
Yeah, so far that's been really our only way to leave here.
You know that the only exit from this room that you've taken is that hidden exit in the wall, and that is where the ring lit up originally. And you chose to go in a different door before.
Lucian, we will follow you as we do, I believe.
Well,
you have the... Yes, Frieda?
Before we go, do we rest here, or maybe it's not safe if Zander had to fight something here? How are you guys all on stress and stuff?
Oh, right.
I'm at 5 stress.
Also 5.
Looks like I'm at 0.
I am at 5.
So what happens when you miss a session?
He did lose all of his hit points a couple sessions ago. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was true from the week before. My next step would be a 10-minute. In the
so stress takes an hour for 3 points to fall off.
That's right.
And to regain your points, you can do the 10-minute ability to roll a d6.
So I would love to do the action in 10 minutes to get some of my pulls back up and spend the hour to get my stress down. I
And
don't
you can
know.
do them simultaneously.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
So you all want to spend an hour here?
I would also be up for taking an hour to get some stress back if other folks are okay with that.
So what does this look like then? What are you doing are you like trying to barricade this room? Are you okay to just sit? There are some comfy like winged chairs, clearly there for extended reading. Are you trying to like break out snacks and water? Do you guys even have snacks and water with you?
Yeah, I actually carry energy bars as equipment, so I can pass some of those out.
I have some stuff that I'm carrying too. I'm happy to bust that out.
So I'll,
Hudson has no need for nourishment.
To
And
does
help
have energy
barricade
bars.
one of the doors, though, because that is something I'd broadly like to do. And for one of them, for the last entrance, I'd like to pull up a chair against the door and sit on that chair, so I am the barricade.
Okay, so you have a couple chairs that you can move around. You have this big wooden desk that'll very easily barricade at least one door. So you're going to put one chair in front of one door, the desk in front of the other, and then a couple chairs in front of the third door. Is that the plan?
That's
Yeah.
my plan. I don't know if anybody else has something else they'd like
Emily
to do.
will help.
Lucian, give me an intellect roll here. And I think in this case, this is one where philosophy could apply. It's going to be difficulty, let's call this 3.
I see. Is that before or after we
Before.
apply my philosophy? I see. So that brings it down to 2. I see. Yes. That is exactly enough to get a difficulty 2 as I rolled a 4. Yeah.
That beats difficulty
Yeah.
1. You need a 6 to beat a 2, right?
Oh, that's right. Oh shit! I forgot what game this is.
Did you have anything else that you were using?
I
or
would
wanted
have.
to use?
I could have spent points in intellect, but it is too late. That is fine.
Okay.
I am fine to have failed this because I am busy staring at Zander and deciding whether I want to shoot him.
I still want a little something from you. How often, or how about this? What is the reason that you would often go without nourishment?
Why would I not eat? Because that which nourishes the soul is not food, but knowledge. So, most of the time I was busy doing other things, and my body has acclimated to a lack of need for sustenance.
And perhaps it's this acclimation, but you honestly don't even feel that hungry. You don't feel the normal pangs of hunger that you are accustomed to.
I see. I too have energy bars, but I have no need for nourishment. If anyone needs an energy bar, I have these. I don't know if they are still good. I've had them for approximately 7 years. I bought them at German Costco. I have slowly been working my way through them.
Energy bars aren't even good when you buy them new. So 7-year-old energy bars, I wouldn't hold out much hope.
Bite your fucking tongue, sir.
When I was a kid, my dad was on a health kick for a while, and he would buy these protein bars by the box. And they were like vanilla flavored, and they were just the worst fucking thing ever to eat. They smelled awful. They tasted worse. It was a nightmare. Anyways,
Sounds terrible. But would you rather eat those or the ass end of a dead rhinoceros?
can I cook the rhinoceros first?
No.
Zander, what does it look like as you're resting for this hour?
I don't need rest in particular because I'm fully stressed out or unstressed. So I would walk up to Frieda, put a hand on her shoulder, and pull an energy bar out of my pocket and hand it to her. Look like you need this.
I will pull the gun and point it at Zander when he puts a hand on Frieda. And I will say, Zander, remove your hand from my sister, or I will remove your head from your shoulders.
Right. You're just offering her a bar. Miss Moore.
Thank you. And Frieda is surprised because she's always kind of held the belief, the truth that, like, she can't really make friends and she doesn't make friends, but this gives her, like, that hope that maybe she is actually making friends with people, and that is a lie, that she's difficult to get along with. And she'll
As
gratefully...
Lucian is pointing a gun at your new friend's face, is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, she knows Lucian isn't going to trust him because of the conflict of potentially pulling a knife on her. But Frieda cannot discern motive to save her life. I have an inability in discerning motive, so she kind of takes it at face value of he's just being really nice.
Not to get too meta, but I absolutely love how Lucian will just wave the biggest fucking red flag, and Frieda's like, "Oh, he's fine. He's harmless."
I
Just
can't
act like
discern
everything's completely
motive.
normal.
Yeah, I can't.
I'm sorry,
Zander.
red flag for me or for Zander?
Zander.
Xander.
You're pointing
Yeah.
at him
Okay,
and
I
saying
was going
he
to
is
say.
a red flag.
You're pointing a
Yes.
gun at a coworker, though. That's a red flag too.
I'm pointing a gun at a man who lied about a cake knife, who was receiving messages from some strange woman that we and I know about. I have been saying this
Yeah.
very consistently for a very long time, and everyone else has been gaslighting me into thinking that he is someone who should not be in jail, or at the very least in some sort of asylum for study.
Lucian,
No,
I'm trying to talk to
yes,
Zander.
I
Right
am
now.
the one
So Zander,
with red flags.
I'm
Don't get sassy with me, boy. Remember who controls the audio.
I'm glad you're alive, Zander, but maybe it's best if I go sit over there, and then she'll get up and she'll go sit next to Lucian.
Protective brother. No worries. I'll check out the library here and peruse the books.
and Zander, where do you have your knife right now?
Should be on my belt. That's where I hang it there.
And you have like a sheath for it, you've said, right?
I believe I bought something a while ago, yeah.
So you wiped off the knife with like a handkerchief or maybe on the fabric of the chair. You said you were cleaning off the blood, right?
Yeah, because Emily wanted me to put it away.
You have it in your
Yeah,
sheath
please.
now, and you look down because you feel a little bit of moisture. There's a tiny red blood stain on your pants. You see that it's dripping from the sheath.
Take a look at it. Is something in there?
Pull the knife out again. The blade is covered with blood again. And Lucian, I know you've been watching him, but you did fail that intellect roll, so I'm going to say you don't see this necessarily.
You described the blood when I first walked in, and I asked him immediately who did he kill. Everyone then started getting distracted, and he never answered. I might not notice the new blood, but I noted the first blood, and I do not trust him. I want to shoot him, but because the player is a friend of mine, I will not.
Xander.
Just to interrupt for a second, I did follow up on that. What Zander said was that, if I'm remembering correctly, something attacked you in the dark, so you didn't see what you defended yourself against. Is what you had said.
Yeah.
Because
That's not an answer to my
isn't.
question,
My
however.
point is it was asked again, and that's what Zander said.
No, that is not my question. My question was, who did you kill? It's a very different one.
I think Naveen is sticking
I
up for
want
this
to-
complete stranger, too.
I am just saying that I asked and he said he didn't know.
That is
All right,
not
let's get this
the
back on
same
the rails.
question.
Xander, you have a
Different
sheet that's
questions.
dripping blood.
Very clearly.
What are you doing?
Is something in the sheet that's causing the blood?
You pull the knife out and it's covered in blood again.
So wipe it on nearby fabric.
You wipe the knife one more time, clean. Maybe you like squeeze out as much blood from the sheath. There's not a ton of blood in there because it's a rather narrow sheath designed for a knife. Put the knife back in. Seems fine. But as a couple minutes pass, you're watching it this time. You've got time to rest. You're focused on all sorts of little details. You see that it's starting to drip again. You pull the knife out just a little bit. It's covered in blood once more.
I'll leave it in the sheath. I think it's to be a problem. But I'll ignore it for now.
And right now it seems like a slow drip. Naveen, what are you doing during this hour?
I'm just sitting on that chair, barricading the thing. I don't think I'm doing anything like really special. I think I would like to pull up my smartphone and try to call Albie and see if we can get a hold of him.
Let's pause right there because can anyone have a view on the Twitch stream?
Seems like it's still going,
sure
but
that
we
we're
lost
still-
them.
I seem to have lost them on both.
But the Twitch stream is still going.
The
stream is still
going, but neither Mel nor Jeff are visible to me on
That is
either
quite
StreamYard
odd.
or Twitch.
All right.
think it's-
Well, while we're killing time, then, what's everyone's favorite bank heist film?
Ooh,
Point Break is an
bank
acceptable
heist.
answer.
Count as a bank?
Casino? A casino
or like-
heist?
Yeah, like
Ocean's 11.
Oh, if we're doing
that the only
like,
heist film you've ever seen?
That's
Probably.
great heist movie.
Ocean's 11 is a good heist movie. Yep.
Does Baby Driver count?
Oh, totally.
Oh yeah, the Robin Banks for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Mine is Heat, by the way. In case
Oh,
you,
he's
were all
awesome.
curious.
I don't think of it as a heist movie for some reason.
All right.
It's very much a heist movie.
But it's so good. No, it totally is. It totally
They
is.
rob armored trucks and banks and all sorts of fun
I
stuff.
fucking love Heat.
All right, are we back?
We're back.
All right. So Naveen, what are you doing during this hour of rest?
Trying to get. I'm sitting on that chair and like being a barricade to one of the entrances. And while I'm sitting, I'm just toying with my smartphone. Specifically, I'd like to call Albert and see if we can get a hold of him.
And it seems that you do have signal. It says you've got full bars. You call and it starts ringing. Ringing. The person you have dialed has not set up their voicemail. Please leave a message after the tone.
I've called Albert multiple times before. I remember him having voicemail. Is that accurate?
We can say that you remember him having voicemail. That's fine.
Okay. I'm gonna send a message. Are you still in the house?
You send the message, "Are you still in the house?" You see 3 dots pop up, but then no message is sent back. But you do get a reaction to your message of a smiley face, the big grin emoji.
Okay. I will send question mark. I assume it's him.
3 dots show up again. They disappear. Show up again. They disappear. And then you get a ping. You do have a message coming. It's a video message.
Hey, open it and play it.
You play it and you see it's very, very dark. The lighting is awful. It's this poorly lit round room. The floor almost looks like a stage of sorts. And you see in the center is Albert. He's dressed in his security guard uniform, but he looks almost broken and gangly the way that he's standing there, as if he's like being marionetted around, and he is dancing. And there's a partner there, a woman that you don't recognize, and they are dancing together around each other in this like macabre sort of ballroom puppeteer dance. And then the video cuts out.
Am I able to like download it or have it?
You can
on
save
my
it just
phone?
like you would on a normal
Sweet.
smartphone. Yeah.
I'm doing that immediately and then going over to the rest of them, sort of panicked and showing the video to them, saying, "Sorry, Albert," and he wouldn't message me back, and I'm gonna show with the video.
And you pull up your text to hit play on the video again. Who are you showing it to?
I'd like to show it to everybody if they're all like clustered together. If not, I will call them together to show them.
So everyone, gathering around this smartphone to look at this video. And you hit play, and they all see the same thing, this macabre, like marionette-style dance, just like being jerked around, essentially. There's no music. There is the faint sound of like shuffling, of just like the feet scraping across the floor in this empty room. It kind of like echoes across from like there's no furniture or anything to dampen the sounds. And you just, as you turn up the volume, you do hear like a slight groan of pain, maybe coming from Albert or the woman. It's hard to tell. And you hear, you've got the video up, it's full screen, we'll say, and then you hear another ding in the background of a text message, and then another ding, and another ding, and another ding, and it just starts beeping like crazy before you can even exit the video. Once you do, you see that you're just being spammed with these emojis, the grinning smile, sent once, sent again, and then it's just like a wall of emojis that are just filling your phone of just smiles and smiles and smiles.
Okay. Very startled, very unsettled. She drops her phone and just kind of steps back. Just totally shocked.
Don't think you can trust what your phone is sending you.
You drop your phone. We'll say the screen cracks a little bit. It's not broken, but it cracks. We can still see that it's lit up, and still just ding, 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 endlessly being spammed by these text messages. Everyone can hear it just continuously dinging over and over and over again.
I'm kind of just staring at it. I'm not doing anything.
I'll pick it up and turn it off.
Are you powering it off entirely or just turning off the volume?
Turn it off entirely so the phone doesn't get any reception anymore.
You turn it off just fine. Finally, the dinging stops.
It's that smiling man. He's messing with us.
Can't trust it. Can't trust anything.
Just ready to be out of here.
Agreed. I need to spend some time healing a bit. So I'm at impaired. So I think during the hour I can spend time, like I would need to try to do a medicine roll. I think it's a 3 difficulty to try to, difficulty of 6. From impaired to hail is a task that requires an hour and has a difficulty of 6.
Yes, and you also have those salves that you can use to assist, if you remember, that you spent a couple hours making. You had a couple uses of them. I don't think you spent them all, did you?
You had
Do you
5
remember
left.
if you spent them all?
Oh, I'm glad you're keeping track of that. So I have medicine. And I'm willing to spend intellect, if that would help. It doesn't.
Intellect makes sense here for medicine check. Difficulty 6,
Okay.
you have medicine decreases it to 5. You have 5 of those uses left, so each one you use can decrease it one more step.
Okay, so decrease it down to 4 with a salve. So we've got 4 left. And then I'll spend some intellect to get it down to a difficulty 3.
And you have an edge in intellect, which
Yeah.
means it costs 2 points to do. You rolled a 15. That beats difficulty 5. You got it.
All right, so I am back up to hail.
All right, so you're spending your
yes.
break treating your wounds, bandaging yourself, applying that salve as best you can.
Yep.
Frieda, I think you're the only one we haven't heard from then. What are you doing
Yes.
during this hour?
So before the hour begins, because how much stress do we remove during an hour? 3?
For an hour of rest, you remove 3 stress, yes.
Okay. So before the hour begins, I would like to use one of my ciphers. Strange music. I take a moment to center myself and I lose the amount of stress equal to the cipher's level, and it is level 3. And then I can gain it another cipher over the hour, correct? Or am I incorrect?
You can, yes.
Okay.
So you can use that roll table that should be public for you.
Cool. And strange music manifests as because she has her phone, sure, but it's mostly she's just kind of singing this like kind of haunting, creepy lullaby to herself that, you know, really shouldn't be comforting, but it is comforting to her. And she's just kind of off by the door or whatever that she's guarding. And I'm gonna get a cipher. And I now have big picture. Everything seems more vivid for an hour per cipher level. I know when any movement occurs within a short range or when large creatures or objects move within long range. I also know the number and size of the creatures or objects in motion.
Very cool, very cool.
That is very cool.
Get to see all the horrible stuff in Technicolor.
And that is a level 5 cipher.
Awesome. All right. Lucian, I think actually we didn't quite hear from you what you were doing over the hour. We know you were watching Zander at the beginning. Were you just content to watch him the entire hour?
I was. I did not need the entire hour to rest, for I have been keeping my shit together. I took a few moments in the beginning to restore some of my breath here and there, and then I will be eyeing him very carefully. I'm trying to recall ciphers again. How do you recover them? I'm sorry if you've explained this already.
So I've got a roll table that you can roll to gather them. And you can essentially, whenever you're resting, you can swap them out. So you can discard some and roll new ones.
Okay. What about ones you have already used? Do they can you reset
you
them?
go back up to
or
3,
is it
yes.
just
Or
Okay.
whatever your maximum is. Some people have different maximums.
okay? So I will. Okay, I will.
You can also discard freely. If there's a cipher you don't necessarily want to use, you can get rid of it. And when you roll, you get all of them back. You'll always refresh to your maximum.
Oh, cool.
Okay, I will just refresh the ones that I have. I quite like them.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry, I was
That's
looking
a
at
good
something.
idea.
What did you say about refreshing to max?
You can get rid of ciphers and refresh to max as you're resting.
Oh, with ciphers. Okay. Yeah. Not the other stuff. Okay.
No, you're
I
not
was
getting your
reading
points
something-
back. It's not that easy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was reading something about levels of stress and then taking an injury, but then I realized it's levels of stress, not points of stress. And I was like, oh my gosh, I should have been injured already. But no, because I had 5 points is not the same as 4 levels of stress. So a little more wiggle room before those stress turned into injuries.
It's the power of 3 in Cypher system. Everything gets divided by 3.
Yeah. So if you ever
so
hit
Lucian?
12 stress, you start taking injuries just from stress.
Lucian, you're recycling ciphers, but as you're doing that, as we'll say you're centering yourself, thinking of your favorite Kierkegaard passages, you feel a difference in your body. You've been essentially a hunchback all day, and you knew that this was going to last for a long period of time. But as you're resting, it feels almost like a reversing of the ritual that created that change in you, that difference in you. It's not nearly as painful, but there is a reversion as the back is straightening out. Your limbs are not quite as crooked as they were before. And it appears that you've regained your regular body.
Okay. So he will play this off. He will note it. He'll be very intellectually curious about it. However, he will, knowing that his team is falling apart. They are losing their minds. They are trusting a madman. Naveen has forgotten her memories. My sister is humming some bizarre song. Emily seems okay, but she's like thinking we're in a garden, smelling flowers when we are fighting for our very lives. So he will not alert them to this. Instead, will just sort of crack his neck here and there and sort of squirm a bit to make it seem like he's cracking his bones. And I think that is all he will do for now. And keep it to himself.
Is there anything else someone wants to do during this hour before we move on?
Emily's definitely just very busy with healing herself, so she's pretty self-interested during the time of just being. I think the whole phone thing was a distressing, loud cacophony of things, and so it's kind of just enjoying the silence after all of that mess. So
the silence of Frieda singing a creepy lullaby in a corner.
Yeah.
But that's better than the
better than the constant phone dinging.
Which
right.
Naveen has taken back from Zander and gone back to her chair and turns the volume down. But she's watching the video to see if she can recognize either the woman or the room.
Give me an intellect roll. It's going to be difficulty 7. Anything you have that can decrease it, feel free to negotiate.
Give me a second to just look through my shit.
Difficulty 7's easy to beat. You only need to roll a 21 on your d20.
The
Good.
only thing that
Right.
looks like it might work is understanding. You observe or study creature or object. Your next interaction gains an asset.
You got to spend an intellect point to use that. I think that
I do.
works perfectly here. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Anything else you want to use skill-wise? Or do you want to spend some points for... you have an edge of 1, so it would only cost you 2 intellect points if you want to lower it by another difficulty.
Sir, what did you say my difficulty on this was?
It was 7. You're using understanding to gain an asset, which drops it down to 6 by spending the intellect point. You could spend 2 more intellect points to drop it down to 5. And then if you have any skills that apply...
Which I will do. So I'll spend the 2 intellect points to drop it down to 5. But I don't have anything else that feels appropriate.
Okay.
15's better than 21.
It really is. I'm gonna roll like shit anyway, so fucking...
I have faith in you.
I'm glad one of us does.
25% chance it could happen. Let's see it happen.
Could. We'll see.
Look
Dude,
at that.
I got a 15. So meets it, beats it, right?
Someone insert the Ted Lasso meme where he's pointing to believe. This is a hopeful game. All right. So Naveen, you are watching this video over and over. You're not recognizing the room. You're not recognizing the person. It does look like they are wearing some sort of like custodial uniform, like they might have been a janitor or a housekeeper of some sorts. But you don't recognize the woman whatsoever. Albert looks exactly how you saw him probably that morning when you left your shift before you all went out on an assignment. You came back, but you did see him at some point that day. And you watch it over and over and over, and you don't see anything that you recognize outside of Albert. But then you catch something, and you realize that before the video cuts out, the camera kind of like turns up as if like the phone is being dropped down, whoever recorded it. Like they're just lowering the phone before they turn off the recording. And the frame just goes up ever so slightly. And you see what's above Albert. And you see the image of a person, a being, maybe, but they don't look human whatsoever. They've got the smile that you see on that emoji, but this isn't Miles. This isn't the smiling man, you don't think, but it feels reminiscent of him, that smile. But that's the only part of this creature's face. And even more distressing than the face, you see that there are 6 gangly long arms with too many fingers on each hand. And from those fingers are threads tied to the fingers. It's this macabre sort of puppeteer. And you can see in that final frame, when you pause just the right moment, you see that smile over Albert as it's jerking up these threads, making him dance. Let me go ahead and show you a picture here.
This hour was supposed to be a stress reduction hour. I'm guessing that's not happening.
We're not going to give you stress for this specifically because you do have the hour to digest this, but it's definitely something you're going to obsess over.
Yeah.
Melissa likes seeing this.
Is
It's
there a
just,
way for me to
like,
take like
Pop in the Discord, see the picture for yourself.
Is there a way for me to take like a screenshot or something of
Absolutely. You
that
can take
moment?
a screenshot of that final frame.
Okay. I'd like to do that, and I would like to take it over to Frieda specifically, because I know she's both a senior researcher and has interest in the occult, and I'm going to call Lucian over as well, and show them that and explain the context within which I saw it.
I don't know what this is, Naveen.
No, I didn't think you would, but I mean, Albert said he was someone was making him dance, and
I mean, who knows? Like, if he's in the house or if he's not, or if the house is just trying to trick you and upset you and force you to stay.
working. Shit. What do I do?
We focus on getting out of this fucking house, and then you can go home and you'll find him and he'll be in bed and he's sleeping and he hasn't dealt with any of this bullshit.
She kind of nods, and house is just fucking me, right? It's just fucking me. The house is just fucking with me. Right? Tell me. Someone has to tell me that it's just fucking me.
The house has been fucking with us this whole time. From the start.
This isn't happening. And she's like on the verge of tears.
Naveen, this house is horrible. It's an entity. It's old, ancient. I don't know. It contains entities. But everything here is
Older
designed.
than gods? It's old. How do we get out of a place that's older than a god?
I don't know, but we're following. We have instructions on how to make the door to get out. And this place feeds off your suffering. You're feeding it by engaging and watching these videos and getting upset. And we're engaging every time we interact with these horrific creatures. Lucian's right. We just need to keep our heads down and just get through the shit and get out.
He doesn't say anything. Just slumps her shoulders and looks defeated.
Just get some rest.
Lucian, you were called over to look at this as well. Did you have any reaction to it?
I will examine it, but he is not one for emotion, so he will allow his sister to handle comforting Naveen. He would not know how to do that correctly. Instead, he will attempt to examine this to see if there is anything missing, or perhaps the smiling man mistakenly allowed us to see.
Naveen, are you letting him have the phone to look at the video as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Lucian, I'm not going to have a check here because there's not going to be much more information that you can discern from it than Naveen on her excellent roll. But there is something particular to you that strikes you as you're watching this video again, as you're watching closer, and as you see like that final frame that was screenshotted, the threads hanging down from the fingers. There is this beautiful geometry happening as you're able to calculate where the threads would be attached to Albert as he's dancing. It's this masterful prediction of movement. It's this chaotic math that appears as you look at where the threads would be going. All these shapes appear. When the thread is taut, it creates these beautiful triangles and squares and all sorts of other shapes. And then when it's loose, it creates these beautiful, beautiful arcs. And there is this twisted, perverted art that is happening, but completely unseen if you're not able to calculate it.
So I'm assuming he is doing this while Frieda and Naveen are talking. Oh, he will mumble to himself, perhaps, and he will just say, fascinating. Then he will kind of tilt his head like a dog might, trying to understand something that is beyond him. And then he will turn here and there. And then he will return the phone to Naveen. And he will say, my sister is correct. We are all puppets to whatever entities have brought us here that control this house. Our agency is limited. We have one thing that we can control, at least for now, and that is our minds. At a certain point, he will look over towards Zander. We might lose those as well. But for now, remember, we see only what these entities want us to see. We go only where these entities want us to go. We are pawns. Merely that. Perhaps an opportunity will present itself for us to do something more. But until then, we must remember our training and our scholarship. Perhaps that will be enough for us to escape, to find Albert, or perhaps it will not. But we must remain focused. An unfocused mind is fertile ground for these creatures. And if we allow them entry into that, and he will look again at Zander, we will invite them in to sow more of their fear. If there is a way to save Albert, if it presents itself, we will try. Until then, we must focus. There is nothing more we can do.
Well put, Lucian. Think we've all vested enough. Ready to head out?
As Lucien was mentioning seeing things, it reminded me, now that I'm feeling a little bit better. Emily wants to look for a light socket in this room somewhere.
There is a small lamp with a green shade on top of the desk that has a regular socket in there.
Okay. So she has the red light bulb artifact. And so she wants to go over to the lamp and pull out the regular light bulb and put in the red light bulb and pull the cord on the, I'm assuming it's one of those kind of old timey ones that has the pull cord to turn it on and off.
Yeah, absolutely. It's this weird brownish color as the red bulb and the green translucent shade kind of refract each other, but it
she tries
lights
to
up the room,
loosen it a little bit to maybe, because I'm imagining it's the kind of the longish green one, and so if you loosen it, you can kind of spin it back, and so she can kind of let the red.
You could take the whole shade off if you want to unscrew enough pieces. It's a very basic lamp, but yeah, you could have it so you just got the post and the red bulb if that's what you want.
Yeah, that works.
All right, so you fiddle with it for a bit, taking the shade entirely off. You've got this red light that glows throughout the room. You're using an artifact. I'm not going to require a roll for this. As you look around, you're looking for something, right?
I haven't tried it before, but I'm seeing it will help us see things. So that is what she would like to see, what there is to be seen.
All right. Let me take a few steps back, and then I'm going to answer what you see. Zander, give me a intellect defense roll. It's going to be difficulty 5. You can spend anything you want to lower it, use any skills you got to lower it. You do have an inability, I believe, though, right?
Yeah, it's my specialty. So
That's why you
let's
got
see.
saddled with the knife.
It'll put me at 6 with the inability.
Yes.
So I'll spend the 3 points of it just to make it 5 again.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled an 18. Pretty good roll.
Wow.
All right. You feel her presence. You feel her. She's not talking to you. You are able to keep your wits about you, but you feel her almost tugging your attention towards Frieda. And as you look at Frieda, you can smell the sweat, the dirt, the dust that she's covered in. You can almost hear her pulse pounding. You think, how fast could that heart rate get if she's under fear? But then you're able to pull yourself back And without even realizing, you had drawn your hand up to your head and you just trailed it down. You were trailing it on your lips, just absent-mindedly before you're able to regain your wits.
I'll turn around to see if anybody saw me.
You turn around, and Emily will say that's the exact moment that you light this up, and you look over and you see Zander just turning around. You don't necessarily notice anything, except everyone has this shadow that's being cast. It's a large room, but this light does cast low light throughout the entire place. Everyone's got a long shadow that's being thrown across the room, except for Zander, that has two shadows being thrown across the room. They both look like they're coming from him, but they just kind of go in different directions, like a V shape.
And Emily's sort of gonna like move, like kind of like to the, as far as the cord on this kind of like lamp will go. She'll try to like change the angle a little bit to kind of see how the kind of shadows move as she's sort of like moving the light a little bit, and see like, is it just the angle that there were two, kind of as she tries to move it around?
Yeah, it's a 6-foot cord, we'll say, so you've got about 12 feet of diameter to work with, and you can bring it almost from one side of the room to the other, not entirely all the way. The shadows do move, but no matter what, Zander's always casting two shadows.
Does anyone else see what I see? And she kind of, because it's just putting this red light into the room, so like everyone should be able to see this. This light, I was wondering a bit what it would do. Does everyone else see the shadows seem to be a bit off?
If you're pointing it out to everyone, everyone can see this.
Do the shadows look the same?
It's too hard to tell. It's a very faint light, and it's being cast from across the room. I assume because Frieda specifically said she was going across the room from Zander, so I'm assuming he's in one of the far corners, like kind of off by himself. So it's no more than like a vague shape, but there are two of them.
So I will say to him, Mr. Zander, can you just stay where you are for a second? And I'll walk up to him and look at the shadows to see if they are the same.
Yeah, even walking up to them, you can see that there are two different ones, but the lack of definition isn't necessarily from where you are. It's just because the light is so far away.
Oh.
Emily's going to do the kind of logical thing of just like look for another outlet. That like moves the lamp closer.
Yeah, give me an intellect roll, difficulty 1 here. Just to see if you fumble, really.
Rolled a 16.
Okay.
Nice.
You follow this cord, and it goes under the desk. You kind of have to go under the desk from the other side to keep following the cord. And you realize that it runs into the ground. There is no actual plug here. It just kind of ends, and it's just like stuck in the wood.
But Thunder, would you just walk over here? Your shadows look weird, and I can't move the lamp.
Certainly. I can move closer.
I mean, it
don't know
makes
if you-
sense, doesn't it? Remember,
Did you
we
find
saw
something?
the attachment in the mirror.
Yes, we've learned previously. Something follows me.
Well, it's still here.
And Emily, I want to give you one more thing because you rolled really well on that, and that's what I was really testing for. As you look at that cord that just like kind of goes into the floor, you remember when you were in the Institute and how everything was a vague memory of what you recalled the Institute to be like, and you realize that whoever was in this room, whoever owned this room, probably forgot where the plug was. And this vague memory, the plug is just stuck in the floor somewhere.
Oh, it's just sort of like there's a lamp there, but like it's plugged in somewhere.
Because someone remembered there was a lamp there.
Interesting. Okay, well, it's still there. And so
And
she'll...
yes, as he gets closer, the shadow gets longer as it's being thrown against different walls. But there are always two distinct shadows.
All right, well, I suppose, like you said, Frieda, we knew it before and it's still happening, but it's interesting, helpful little thing. First time I plugged it in. So she'll untwist the light bulb so that she has the light bulb to travel with them. That was all that I wanted to do. I think I'm done. If everyone else is done here,
It's an experiment. Zander,
What was that, Lucian?
I was wondering if you might engage me in an experiment.
Certainly. What do you have in mind?
Now, I know you have great affection for the knife. I was wondering if we could activate this lamp once more, except perhaps you could place the knife on the opposite side of the room. No one will take it from you, I promise. And you walk over here so that we might see what happens with the second shadow that seems to be orbiting you.
Zander, because you passed your intellect defense roll, if you want to leave the knife, you're capable of doing so.
Simple enough. I shall set it here and walk a few paces here.
You all see Zander set the knife down on one side of the desk. The lamp is in the middle. He walks to the other side of the desk. The knife itself leaves a very faint little shadow on the desk. As he walks around, you see those two shadows split from him as if the lamp is on slightly different angles, following Zander as he moves.
So the second shadow goes with him and not with the knife.
it would appear, yes.
So that it is fully in him then.
This is concerning.
Oh, it would have been better
Zander,
if it
perhaps.
stayed with the knife.
Yes. Zander, would you be willing to continue this experiment? We could advance to the next room, leaving the knife here, and then see in the following room exactly the nature of the shadow. And if that woman's voice, whom I know has been speaking to you, for she too spoke to me, if she says anything of interest about the separation.
I can certainly move to the next room, but I'll have you know I must return for the knife.
Why is that?
I've become fond of it, I've told you before.
Are we still going to entertain this? Truly. And he looks to the rest of the party. Are we truly going to entertain this? Have we lost all semblance of reason? Do we care not for advancing and escaping? Please, those of you, please, I beseech you now. You know that this thing has done harm to him. And he, even if he does not will it, will someday do harm to us.
Before you answer, let me tell you that the knife finds its way to me. Even if I've left it behind. If that changes your mind at all?
It does not. Continue to leave it. Continue to fight it. If you are addicted to a drug, you do not attempt to quit one time. You continue over and over and over. It is a lifelong pursuit. It is not a thing that comes easy.
I shall set it here and walk away.
Zander, as you say that, everyone who's looking at the knife on this desk, you see that he pulled it out of the sheath and likely wiped it down as he did. He sets it on the desk. But now, as it's been sitting there for a minute or so, you see that there is a drop of blood that has formed on the edge of the knife and slowly started to run down the blade and pool on the desk.
What's happening with that? Emily's gonna look up at the ceiling, if there's something that dripped down onto it.
The ceiling is kind of hazy. It almost seems like it's out of focus, but there's definitely nothing that dripped down.
Lynne is going to echo Lucy. You should definitely leave this knife behind.
Are we satisfied? I'm in the other's room. The knife is behind.
Then let us continue. And you will, of course, tell us, should it find its way to you again, so that we might aid you in your continued pursuit of purity.
I'm sure you'll come to know.
You see, Zander, it is statements like that that make me untrusting of you. For what you just said is that I will come to know, not that you will be the messenger of that truth. Which means you might lie, and I might have to discover this through another means.
You know, Dr. Malloy was rather cagey about what exactly Gil Ravitch said to him. Has she spoken to you, Zander? What has she said to you?
Now, Steven, if I recall, you told me I wasn't able to tell them that I heard her.
Because you've passed your most recent save, you are not necessarily under her influence right now. You still feel it, and you're still intensely focused on this bead of sweat that is running down Frieda's face, and it's mixing with that corpse dust, and you can just smell it. But you do have your own faculties, you have your own free will.
Then if you ask Frieda, yes, I've heard a voice, and it's spoken to me.
Yes, but about what?
It wishes to leave the house with me. She's just as scared as we are.
She's not human. Is that something we truly want to let out? Originally, she was in the house until she left with Malloy. Right? Or
the way Dr. Malloy talked about her, she was not scared. She did not want to be here because it was a prison of sorts. She may have been scared, but she was being kept from causing damage. She's not looking for an exit because if the house unsettles her, it's not the same way it's unsettling us.
I don't know. I don't know what to do. I feel like we've stayed here too long.
We must move.
Perhaps if we
Yes, before. Yes, Emily.
Perhaps if we find our way out of the house, she will no longer be connected to Zander. Perhaps she can't leave and she's attaching herself to him.
She
That
didn't
an
attach
attempt.
herself in the house. Unless we've been in the house this whole time and we weren't actually on the farm.
I've been wondering how long we were here and didn't realize we were here. If the smiling man can't leave the house, we saw the smiling man days before we were here.
I don't know.
One thing is certain. We will not leave this place by standing here.
True.
You agree then, Zander? You will leave the knife here. Should it find its way back to you, you will alert us, and we will leave it again. And we will do this over and over and over until you are free of influence.
That sounds fair. I'll let you know.
Good.
We'll do this together.
Then he will see which way the ring is shining.
And it's still shining at the same hidden door in the bookcase.
This way, it seems.
All right, and I believe we roleplayed that entire hour break because we're in the same room we started the session in.
No.
That was intense.
Lucian just starts blasting.
Keanu Reeves firing in the air. All right.
Did you just equate Zander to Patrick Swayze?
I
would
mean,
have
Long is
no
pretty good
trouble
looking. Let's
firing.
be honest. He's an
Long,
attractive man.
certainly. But Zander, are you kidding? He wears like tracksuits. Come on now.
Did Zander wear tracksuits? I forgot that.
Yes, don't you remember? He had like a tracksuit on at one point.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
not at work though.
Right, but the fact that you did it at all,
The fact that it's in your wardrobe.
you're a grown human
I
being.
used to wear
You-
tracksuits
you're
all
not
the
on a-
time.
Listen, there are two groups of people who should be wearing tracksuits. Those people on a track and field team in Italian mafia gangsters in New York or New Jersey.
I used to work at a Foot Locker, and I got great discounts on the Jordan tracksuits. So that was my loungewear for a while. Anyways,
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
but I did. As we move on away from the embarrassing facts of Steven. You open this, it was barricaded shut. You move the chairs that you pushed in front of it. You're able to open the bookshelf again. You knew exactly where the hidden door was, so it's not difficult to open one more time. And you find this hallway behind. Instead of a room like you've been dealing with before, this is very much a hallway, and it's very, very narrow, as if you almost have to walk sideways to get through. It's unfinished. There are studs and framing of 2x4s. There's cobwebs that move in between. There's a few unsecured 2x4s just lying on the floor. And then there's the wooden paneling on the opposite side. I forget the name of what it's called, the wooden slats. I even looked it up so I'd know it, and I still forgot. The wooden slats are on... Yes, that's it. Thank you. And it's on the opposite side, as if you're behind the wall, except it's on both sides here. And let me go ahead and show you a picture. As you are essentially, it feels like you're between rooms, and you really do have to kind of shuffle to get through there.
You sure this is the way the ring is lit?
Yes.
And as
Okay.
you go into this hallway, the ring does die down, but it definitely lit up at the hidden door.
And he will shimmy carefully at a controlled pace, not too slow, not too fast, observing each way. And he will recommend 2 face one way, 3 face the other, to see if there are any messages along the way.
I'll look
And
right.
it's not so narrow that you couldn't turn around if you really had to, but it would be uncomfortable to do so.
What if you are a tiny little man who weighs 20 pounds?
You could twist all the way around, no problem.
So he's spinning like a ballerina.
Lucian is
Taunting the rest
cartwheeling
of
down this hall between the rooms. All right, so Lucian's going first. I'm not going to ask for a very specific marching order, but tell me who's like towards the front, who's towards the back.
I'll bring up the rear.
Frieda's probably up
I'll go
front
to it.
with Lucian.
I'll be in the middle.
All right, so Zander's towards the rear as well. As you start moving through, it doesn't feel like it should be accurate to like the space between rooms. As you come across a right turn, and it's still the stud framing on both sides. You follow that down, and then there's a left turn, and then another right turn, and then another left, and then another left. And it's hard to make sense of which direction you originally started. You absolutely can if you're thinking about it and you're trying to remember, but it feels disconcerting and confusing. And there's no regular shape of rooms in any house that this sort of movement would make sense. None whatsoever. It's easy to get caught up with the dust and the cobwebs as you start choking and coughing. Maybe you breathe at the wrong point, but you don't necessarily get claustrophobic just because you can look up, and the ceiling is more than 15 feet tall. So you have like space that you can look down. If you're ever feeling like the walls are closing in, at least you can see further away and kind of center yourself. And like I said, you can turn around. It's difficult, it's uncomfortable, but it's not that you're losing any of your movement. As you're moving, Emily, you said you're in the middle. You hear a voice call out from one side of the plaster. What is that scratching sound? And it's muffled and it's echoed, but it is very much on the other side.
Hello? Hello?
None of the rest of you heard this voice, so you just hear Emily calling out hello.
Yes, what they did?
Yes.
Hello? A man was asking about this scratching. We are walking. We are not scratching.
Is that an animal? Is it in the walls? And then Emily, as you're like kind of leaning closer to hear this a little bit better, there's a bang on the wainscoting as there's this. The wall starts like vibrating ever so slightly. There's someone pounding on the other side of the wall, and that everyone can hear.
And Emily will just sort of jump back. There's a man. He's banging on the door and banging on the wall, and she's gonna kind of bang back on the wall and say, "We are not creatures. We are not animals. We are people."
And let me take a moment to call out welcome Raiders, Trooper SJP. I hope you guys had a good stream. We are playing Magnus Archives, the Cypher system, but we've ported Darkest House into it with my own... it's just for me to torture my players. And right now they are in the narrow confines of a space between walls. And Emily is being... antagonized by someone on the other side of the wall. You call out again. They're still banging. This is my house. Don't make me call someone to flush you out of here, you little beasts.
Can you not hear
Doesn't
me?
seem to respond to you whatsoever.
And so she's gonna kind of do the thing that you do when you're like knocking on a wall and you're trying to find a stud, that she's just gonna keep like knocking on the wall and like moves along the wall a little bit. Can you not hear us?
And at that point, it seems that the voice goes silent. As you're pounding and moving along, there's no more response.
I don't know if we want them to actually hear us, Emily.
It was. Did you all not hear the man's voice?
I heard the banging. And if
Well, before that, there was a man that was asking if it was animals moving in the walls, and it was his house.
we have no way of knowing if it's a real man or not.
Lucian, your ring is not indicating we need to go this direction?
The ring has not lit up since moving through these hallways.
Should keep moving. There is no guarantee that whoever's on the other side of that wall is our friend. More than likely, it is anything but. Gesundheit.
Stephen,
I
is
heard
there
someone sneeze.
is there any gap between any of these? And I know there's likely to be like plaster on the other side, but she's just looking to see if maybe there's like a hole or something that she, kind of like looking around just to see if there's.
So it's the wooden slats on the other side of the studs, and there is plaster in between. So it's just completely dark, but it's also just plaster. If you wanted to try to break through, you absolutely could. Like plaster, you could almost stick your fingers through in between the slats of wood.
She is like looking through her bag, not really seeing anything, and like just sort of feels everyone just sort of staring at her like they're about to start moving, and like the rear of the line can't move because she's in the middle kind of holding things up. And so, okay, fine. I will leave it be. I will leave it be. And she'll shuffle along kind of after Lucian and Frieda.
And as the group starts moving in, Emily, you hear the voice, but much more distant. It's almost as if I could hear someone talking. How curious. And it's at that point, it's just a slight murmur, and you almost feel like you're hearing it in your own head.
And she'll think back to all of the conversations that Frieda and Lucian were having with Naveen about the video and all of that, and just takes a deep breath and continues along in this uncomfortably narrow area.
And this maze continues as you shuffle along, taking a right turn and a left turn. There's never any branch, but there is one section that, Lucian, as you are leading and you take a right turn, it opens up a little bit. And it's still the slat and the studs framed on either side, but it, instead of being about 15 inches wide, it's about 4-5 foot wide. And it looks like it continues down to the right, the same way that this maze has been continuing, except this section, this wider section, has dead animals that just litter the entire area. Rats, mice, a raccoon, small birds, large insects, even a snake is there. Some of them are no more than bones, but others appear to be freshly killed, probably by something with claws. And they've not been eaten, but rather just left to rot.
He will whisper to Frieda, "Be very careful up here. There are dead creatures. No signs of what killed them. We should move quietly and carefully, but alert those behind us so they do not yelp in disgust."
Yeah, and Frieda will continue with like the game of telephone. So she tells Emily, be quiet. There's dead animals. We don't just be quiet and stealthy.
Emily will tell Zander, the carcass is ahead. Be silent in case the predator is still close by.
The car keys are lost to the closet.
I was gonna say, whether it gets Naveen, it's something about China. No phone call.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good.
I don't know what that means, but keep steady.
Car keys.
Why does she want her car keys? You are all able to navigate through these dead animals and these carcasses very carefully. I'm not going to require a roll here. You're all watching your steps, making sure that you don't crunch on anything too hard. Lucian pulling the gun to shoot a couple dead animals to remain quiet.
Excuse me.
What
I
else
was
is
using a finger gun. I wasn't using... Did you see me holding a real gun? No.
Well, that's against the Twitch terms of service, all right? We'd get banned.
So is your face.
And as you continue down this serpentine, winding corridor, there's another left, another right, another right, another right, and then a left. And this stud work continues, but you find a hole in the floor where this concrete floor was. It looks like the concrete's been cracked, and it looks like it essentially fell out into a sort of pit underneath. The hole is about 3 foot wide, and the corridor continues on the other side. You could try to jump it if you want. Looking down, it looks like darkness until you pull out a flashlight or something, but from the cursory glance, you don't really see anything in there. Lucian, you're pulling out your night vision goggles.
I normally
Everything
wear them
goes
up
green.
here. And I put them on. I look down.
You look down and you see a pile of rubble and rocks and dirt and more dead animals that are lying down there. And it appears that there's also like scrapes of like claw marks or tracks or something being dragged maybe that lead further down. This is a sort of nest or cave, something that leads off underneath this corridor. And that's when you hear this sort of chittering, this chattering, almost bird-like. And you also hear, what is someone coming? And that is a very distinct voice that didn't sound like what Emily heard behind the walls that would seem like an adult man. It sounded like a child, a young child.
Did it sound like the creepy kid that we heard on the radio at the institute?
No, it did not sound like
Okay.
that one.
Do we see where that voice is coming from?
You can put your head down closer to the hole, but it continues on for a little bit. You can't necessarily get the angle to see all the way down, not without dropping down into it.
What does the ring say?
The ring does not light up here.
Then Lucian will not go down into the hole. He'll instead attempt to bypass it and continue. He will not mention the voice if others did not hear it. For these are all distractions.
All right, and it's only 3 foot across. You can almost make like a wide step to get across it, like a skip essentially. So it's not going to require a roll. You're able to jump across. Frieda, you're right behind him. You saw him put his night vision goggles on and kind of like take a look down in the hole, but then he moves past.
Yeah, and if he moves past, she presumes like maybe he was just checking to see for the ring. So she wouldn't really question it, and she'll just cross over as well.
You cross over. Emily, you're in the middle.
Yeah, and she probably would have just assumed that Lucian was just kind of checking for dangers and whatnot. So she will jump over.
You jump over. Naveen, you come up to this hole. And as you're getting ready to take a bigger jump, you do hear, what if it's Stephanie? Just echoing down.
Is that a name that triggers it all? Or a voice that triggers it all?
Ashley's nodding. I don't know. Does it trigger something for you?
When we were interviewing Dr. Malloy, we do know that Stephanie Johnson was one of the people who never left the house.
Okay, thank you.
And that Shirley, she
Shirley.
came here because she was looking for Stephanie's younger brother, Rowan.
Thank you. Thank you. She's gonna shake her head and just try to convince herself that the house is just fucking with her, and because that's the only way she can cope with this whole upper thing.
Why don't you go ahead and take 2 stress then?
Yeah, and try to move forward and try to ignore it and do a piss poor job of it.
You jump across. Zander, offer you a GM intrusion. You could slip and stumble to fall in the pit, gain an XP and give someone else an XP, or you could spend an XP to make the jump.
Ooh.
Wait, you're forcing me to... Oh, because it's GM intrusion.
So GM intrusions are an option. You can spend an XP to ignore it entirely, or you fall in.
Let's go for a dive.
All right. Go ahead and give me a speed defense roll. We're going to say difficulty 3 here.
Okay. I've got gymnastics to ease.
Absolutely works.
Awesome.
Brings it down to difficulty 2.
Oh, I rolled a 15. Quite nice.
All right. So first you get an XP, and you choose someone else to get an XP.
Pass it to Lucian in the front. Catch this.
Lucian. XP point comes flying at you.
That will
Zander,
take for sustenance.
You will say that you were like moving to jump across, but Naveen kind of stuttered when she heard that voice, and it kind of like messed up your momentum, and you slip on a good amount of dirt and dust that's been piled up here, and you tumble down. With your gymnastics, you are not taking any damage, but you do go down, and there is like a little bit of like a cave-in as like you're grabbing the other side, and a few rocks and dirt kind of like comes crumbling down. It's nothing that's dangerous. It definitely doesn't like cause the entire side to collapse, but it's noisy. And you hear yell out, "Stephanie!" And that echoes through.
Ah! Hello? Not Stephanie, it's Zander.
And with that, you don't hear any voice call out, but you do hear a chittering, bird-like chittering.
Guys, I've found
And the rest of you definitely hear Zander go in.
Yeah,
tumble in as
I'm
well.
gonna call for everyone to stop and see that this has happened while Zander is yelling it.
Game of telephone backup. Emily will kind of tug on Frieda. Frieda, Zander's fallen.
I'm gonna lean down while this is happening, like army crawl kind of thing. Stick my hand down to grab him.
Zander, the pit is about 5 foot deep. So when you're standing, you're almost like eye level with the concrete that you fell down. It wasn't a huge fall, but you definitely would use some help to get up. Like it's not something from a standing jump that you can just clear.
Naveen's hand is there if you want to take it.
Yeah, of course. Give me a hand.
Pull yourself back up. Naveen, you're like grabbing his shirt and collar to pull him over the edge. And at that point, the chittering is very loud, and it is echoing through the tunnel.
Yeah, there's something down there, I think. Let's move on. We've awoken something familiar. We might have seen it earlier.
Emily will... so I can spend an intellect to cause the red light bulb to illuminate in my hand.
Yes, you can.
I would like to do that. I imagine she sort of has spent a bit of time with this, and I think when she got it, it sort of seemed like it brightened a little bit in her hand, but then it faded kind of when she had first found it. So she's gonna kind of try again to see if she can kind of like be standing kind of at the edge of this thing, holding this light bulb out in her hand.
All right, so Naveen is kind of like crouched down, helping Zander over the edge. You're directly behind her, holding the light bulb over, it illuminates. And as it illuminates, you did spend the 1 intellect point?
Yes.
You do see a being directly on the opposite side of this jump, this 3-foot pit. Where you were just walking from is immediately lights up. No, it dims, it darkens. The shadow that you were communicating with previously, it's got those 2 glowing eyes, but you did not see it until you used this red light bulb. You look down, you see the foot tapping, and you see an arm pointing towards the pit.
And Emily's gonna kind of look at it and then follow its direction into the pit, like with her eyes.
And you look down in the pit, you see Zander coming up. It's dusty, it's dirty, there's a little bit of clouded dust, but otherwise it's just darkness down there. The red light bulb does illuminate all the way down to the dirt underneath, but it trails off to your right into darkness.
Okay, so I also hear this chittering sound?
Absolutely, it's starting to echo.
Okay, but I don't see
you don't see
origin
yet, no.
of that. Okay. And she's just gonna kind of over her shoulder a bit look to Frieda and like is just holding the light out to make sure like Frieda also sees this being on the other side of this gap.
Anyone who starts looking that direction can absolutely see the shadow there.
You see that? See the it's pointing down.
Yeah, and remember the last time it pointed us in a location, it tried to sacrifice Lucian?
But that's where Zander fell, and I wasn't saying we should go down there. It's just, but Naveen, do you need help?
No, I don't think so.
Zander, you're up. We'll say that you're like sitting down with your legs over, scrambling backwards. Naveen, you're essentially trying to get to the side out of his way at that point because he's got his weight all the way out of this pit. Emily, as you still look at this shadow, you see one arm is pointing down at the pit. The other arm curls around behind and kind of disappears behind its own back. You can see through it. It's translucent. But then as the arm comes back around, you see it's holding tool, a chisel. It looks like it's got this wooden handle and this sharp square blade like for chiseling wood, and it points with the chisel down to the pit.
We need that.
I thought you just said we shouldn't follow it because last time it pointed.
It has the chisel. That was on the list.
Does Lucin know who is it? It's Naveen and Zander who are closest to it, yes?
Correct.
Yeah.
Ask it if we might have the chisel.
I will ask, and I'm happy to throw a bunch of skills at it if I need to.
We're still at a conversation right now. You ask, can we have the chisel?
Yeah.
And the foot still tapping, thumping like a anxious rabbit. And that chisel begins to slowly move back behind its back. And the eyes, the 2 glowing eyes, the only things that you can really see perfectly defined, look down at the pit and then look back at you. And as the chisel goes behind its torso, it disappears from view, despite its torso being entirely see-through.
What the fuck is in the pit?
I'm
Just saying
looking
there's chisels in the pit.
Is there anything visible?
You just see the rock and the dirt underneath. It honestly reminds you of the cave that old man was living in on the Donauer farm.
So that's what I'm gonna say. Oh my! There's nothing down there, and in fact, it looks like that place we saw on the farm, what that man was.
Well, maybe once you get Zander up, I can go down with the light.
Zander's
I
inside.
imagine Zander's up at this point.
He fell.
Zander was the Was the ground hard, soft? Could you dig?
You
It felt
could,
hard,
but
stable.
it bends. It goes deeper.
I see. Is it a small opening? Like for a child?
I didn't take a good look, but I'm sure you can see it from up here. Or in the pit.
Lutzen will, his tiny little skeletal body will start shifting back.
So the pit itself, it was about 3 foot wide to drop down, and the tunnel is still about 3 foot wide, but it's also about 3 foot tall. It's not quite a square, it's not quite a circle, but a bit of both. It's like a square with curved edges, and it's very rugged and irregular, but it's mostly a 3 foot diameter.
Naveen, give me a hand down.
Wow.
I can.
And as he's going down, he will turn to Zander and he will say, if I die down here and you harm my sister, I will haunt you and yours for the rest of eternity. And I know how to do it.
Let's hope you don't die down there.
Lucian, I assume you have the night vision goggles on.
Of course, my friend, of course.
Lucian, do you want me to follow with the red light? It may help you.
Yes, yes, that is a good idea.
Emily will.
And Lucian, it's not hard to
down.
lower yourself into this pit. You just
Well, a normal person, yes. Lutzen, a little more difficult.
but easier than it would have been a couple hours ago when you were still in a different shape.
I imagine no one has mentioned, oh, hey, Lutzen, you're looking good. Oh, it's fine.
There was like 1,000 "Are you okays" the day they saw you, but now that you're normal, everyone's like, "Eh."
Now that everyone's fine. Now they're all crazy. No, it's fine.
You lower yourself into the pit and you look down, and it seems to be a mostly straight shot, but it starts to curve slightly to the left, about 30 foot in. And with your night vision goggles, there's no check. You do see this bird-like skull that's peering around the corner, and you hear the chittering, and then the skull pulls back around, disappears around the curve.
Lutzen will tie a rope around his waist because he pulls his messenger back. Rope is one of his items. He will tie it in. Naveen, take this.
I absolutely will take it. And like wrap
Give
it
my
around my
corpse to my
wrist and
sister.
like do all that thing to like make sure I don't lose my grip.
I'll do that too. And Emily's going to go in after Lucian, and Emily also has rope in her survival kit. And so she's like just watching what Lucian is doing and doing the same things, and then just hands hers
I'm
to
gonna ask
Naveen as well.
Zander to help because I'm fairly certain I can have one, but probably not two. So I'm gonna ask Zander to help.
All right,
Zander, are
make
you
it.
helping?
Yes.
All right. So Lucian, you start going. Emily, you're not too far behind, and it is like a comfortable crawl. Like it's 3 foot high, so you definitely can't walk it. You can't really crouch either.
I'm so
but it's
sorry
not-
to interrupt, Steven. Can I
Yeah.
do one thing before they head down?
Depends on what it is.
I'd like to give Lucian my ceramic figurine.
Okay. Do you remember what the ceramic figurine was?
I do. It's an artifact on my sheet similar to Emily's red light bulb thing.
Yeah. What did it look like? Though?
This is a 3-inch tall figure that depicts a very young smiling girl. When the figurine...
Actually, no. As you pull the figurine out to give it to Lucian, maybe you misremembered. It's not a young girl. It's an adult woman. She's still smiling, but it's definitely not a child the way you thought it was.
Huh.
I don't know.
Oh.
You must have taken the wrong notes.
Oh, Okay.
Wow. Next level gaslighting right there.
Yeah. No, I'm staring at the description.
You mean that item that you dropped on my sheet, GM? You mean the item that you wrote up and you dropped on my sheet?
May
I didn't
I
write that. I
still-
didn't write that.
Change the description? Wow.
May I still give it to him?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care what you do with it.
Okay, I'm gonna look at it kind of quizzically first. Is the woman recognizable?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like, same sort of brunette, same sort of basic facial features, but definitely an adult, not a child. It looks like the same person. You just misremembered it.
Okay, I'm gonna hand it to Lucian without commenting on that and convinced I must be misremembering. Because I haven't spent as much time with it as Emily has with the light bill.
So
But
Lucian?
Lucian, what this does is, character gains an edge on every die roll they make. The character can give the figure to another character and transfer the edge. So if you ever want to give it to Mel or someone else, you can, but in this moment you have it.
Thank you, Naveen. I'm sure this will be very useful.
Let's hope so.
Then he'll start army crawling. Say like over his shoulder. Emily, have you ever seen Deer Hunter? It's an excellent film. And then he'll
I think a long time ago, Naveen gave you a doll, and that seems to be helpful to you.
It is an action figure.
Oh, big difference.
Look at it. The arms move. Snap. Oh,
Isn't that the same pouch from that room that you got the bulb?
Yeah.
Right. So, Lucian, you are doing this crawl, and it's not too difficult. It's not too tiring. And you get about 30 feet, and that's where the curve starts. And that's when you notice that there's a lot of trash around here. There's bits of cloth, old newspapers, torn drapery and carpet and so forth. It feels very, very nest-like. There's definitely some, glistening bits of metal, like rusty blades and silverware and things like that. But as you go around that curve, you see that there is a widening, a sort of cavern. And it looks like it gets taller, about 5 foot, maybe 6 foot in certain parts, is this irregular roof kind of, it looks like a dirt cave essentially. And it's probably about 15 wide, about 25 feet deep. And the chittering still echoes through this room. And you see, I don't have the image ready to go. My bad. Oh, no, I do. It's just in the wrong journal. I'm talking to myself. Ignore me.
No, we're hanging on.
Don't worry, everyone is.
Word.
Yeah, everyone's freaking crazy.
And you see this creature. It's the same one that was climbing on the walls in the hallways and into the Magnus Institute, and you were able to outskirt it and get away from it. It's about 3 foot tall if it was standing, but it's crouched and hunched over, kind of golem-like with its frail humanoid frame. Its fingers end in long talons. It's got this bony bird skull. But right now, you see it crouched behind a young boy. This boy is probably 5-6 years old. He's wearing this tattered white shirt, these tattered pants. He looks dirty and malnourished, but doesn't seem to be injured or anything like that. And he's playing with this stuffed tiger. And the tiger is missing all 4 limbs. They're on the ground as stuffing is pouring out of this tiger. And let me go ahead and show you a picture here. I am good at Foundry. Oh, there we go. You should be able to see that.
Oh, he's very cute. Very cute. So is the child.
Lucian, you've stopped. What's... And Emily's trying to hold the red light up over
And-
Lucian a little bit.
As you speak, it gains the child's attention, and he looks up, and you hear the chittering. And it's rather loud, and it's coming from this creature, obviously, and it kind of echoes through the cavern. But the boy looks up, and he kind of looks disappointed to see you, Lucian, and fearful at the same time. You're not Stephanie.
No, I am not. I am Lucian. Who are you?
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers.
That
And
is
the
a
chittering,
very-
the clawed hand holds the shoulder of the child and kind of like pulls him close.
It's a very good policy. And I am a very strange man. You do not need to talk to me if you do not like.
I assume you're
Would you
speaking in
mind-
English to this kid too, because the kid is speaking
Yes.
English, I should say.
I speak all the languages.
You're speaking in
So-
ancient Greek to him.
I'm speaking in Sanskrit.
That's a hard one to know how to pronounce. So
A well-known verbal language. He says,
Which I'd learned for many years and was terrible at.
young boy, creature, I mean no harm. We mean no harm. We are wondering, have you seen a chisel? You do not have to speak. A simple nod of the head or a shake will suffice.
And the boy looks over his shoulder at this creeper over him, and the bird skull chitters as it slowly shakes no.
I see. Well, are you safe here? Do you wish to stay?
The creeper's hand tightens on the boy, and you see him kind of like uncomfortable, not in pain, but definitely like pulling away under it as these claws do like slowly begin to dig in, not causing any punctures in the cloth or blood or anything like that, but tightening the grip. I want to see Stephanie again. I'd like to go home.
Well, I have good news for you, my young boy. Stephanie is here. She is in the house. I am sure if you
She is,
look
and
around
he
for her,
begins
Yes.
to like immediately stand up, but the clawed hand pulls him back down gently but very, very firm, you can see. And then you hear another voice, this very raspy, "He is mine," coming from this bird's skull.
No.
well, guten Tag, meinen Freund. I am Lucian. This is Emily. Who am I speaking to?
Leave me be with my... And he's talking slowly as if it's a strain for him, and he clearly is unpracticed with it. With my little friend here, and I'll get you out of the house.
I see. That is a very interesting offer. Is that not an interesting offer, Emily?
Yes, quite an interesting offer.
Quite compelling. Might I ask how you would go about getting us out of the house?
Do we have a deal?
It's very curious, Emily.
What is it about this place?
Exactly. You are thinking the same thing I am thinking.
Everyone wants to agree to a deal before discussing terms. This is not how this works.
I know that I am not a very personable man. I understand this. However, a deal is struck after both sides present what it is they are offering. We need assurances that you can get us out of here.
The head cocks to one side. You hear more of that chittering. And it slowly releases its hold on the child and begins to back up. Never actually facing away from you, but backing up into this nest of trash, of newspaper clippings, of just all sorts of papers. And it uses one claw, again, never looking away from you, to scratch away at some of this nest. And you hear the ruffling and rummaging of paper and like little bits of trinkets and metal until it's the sound of nails on glass, like the tink tink. And as it does so, you see this window behind as it begins to pull more trash away. It looks like one of those narrow windows that is a basement window. And if opened, it would be just wide enough for a body to squeeze through, but very, very narrow and a difficult fit.
While it is turned away,
I said it never faced away from you. It just pulled with its arm, but it is away from the kid.
Why is it away from the kid, then? I would like to shoot at it several times with my gun.
All right.
And then...
Go ahead and make your attack.
While I do that, I will also say... I will, kind of fire, and I will say, Stephanie is upstairs, as I fire right past him.
All right, so this is going to be a speed check. It's going to be difficulty of 3 here. You've never seen this thing move very fast.
I see. So the what's it called gives me an edge. Yes, you said.
Yes, it does. The ceramic figure gives you an edge.
Yeah.
The adult ceramic figure. I don't know what kid you're talking about.
God, dude,
I will have two edges in speed then, because I already have one. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes. So if you spend a point, to spend effort, it'll be
because.
One. Yeah, you got where I'm going.
Yeah, I got it.
Stumbling over my own.
All right. Then I will do that. I will make the case that my night vision goggles makes this easier for me to see and aim.
Yeah, I'll take that. An asset.
Okay. So, if that is the case,
3 goes down to 1.
Yes.
Hell yes.
The funny thing is I have a gun. I have no skill in it, by the way. I just carry it around for shits and gigs.
Most people don't.
Pop a few up. That is true. I am not American. Okay. Can I make an argument? And you can say no, of course.
No.
That in this conversation with this creature, could my understanding have kicked in? I have been watching it. I have been talking to it. I've been seeing it move. I have the same thing that Naveen does. I just normally don't use it.
I think you would have to study it for longer in this case.
Okay. I see.
Right now, you've only seen it for about 15, 20 seconds.
It felt longer.
Okay, a minute.
I mean, I did see it at the end of the tunnel, then I followed it. We saw it
difficulty
earlier.
1. Give us the roll. You got this.
I literally rolled a 4. Okay.
A 4 would pass.
I rolled a 6. Do you see?
Which
this is why I don't fuck around.
Describe how you kill this thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I just say, Stephanie is upstairs. And I just fire. Really loudly. I even go boom, 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 boom as I'm shooting because I'm not used to shooting.
This kid who is kind of like sitting down just screams, covers his ears from the noise just echoing through this cavern, and kind of like hits the deck. The gunfire is nowhere close to the kid and just hits this creeper, for better word, whatever name we'll call it, right in the torso. Bam, bam, bam. And it just crumples down. One of your bullets goes through the creeper and the glass behind it, and a bit of light shines through. It looks like daylight out there. As this creeper just slumps into the nest and into this bedding. And as it slumps down, it begins to slowly dissolve. It like melts in front of your eyes as it turns into this pile of goop, and it seeps into all the newspaper, all the trinkets, all the dirts, all the cobwebs and everything. And then it's quiet. And there's no physical body left, just a pile of goop. And then you hear a chittering, and you look up, and you see it directly above you, jumping down. And that's where we're going to end the session for the night. And we'll see how it goes from there.
Oh, dear.
You got a killing, so that counts. You can notch your belt there.
I do feel like in the time in which it was dissolving and stuff, I would have grabbed that little snot-nosed kid and we would have been already...
You absolutely... We'll cover that in next session. You absolutely could have taken a few steps.
And then we would find a door and we would leave. And then
you would find a door and leave. And then everyone will be happily ever after.
Yeah. Everyone is going to refer to Frieda as Stephanie to gaslight this kid into thinking that Frieda is his sister. They look kind of similar, really, if you think about it. Will he, though?
Well, right. He's 5 or 6 years old. He would think his sister is about 11 or 12, right?
He's been here a while.
5 or 6 year old. It's basically like talking to a block of cheese. You know, that's kind of the same.
Here's your 40-year-old sister.
Again,
I'm sorry, Frieda. I'm probably doing you dirty on the age
persuasion. I didn't think it was going to be a negotiation. I thought I was going down there because I was small and like looking for stuff. And then I'm like, oh shit, this is a social. This is the wrong person for this. Not the right person.
This is the talkie talk stuff. Oh, welcome, Raiders. Taking time about gaming. Good to see you.
We were just wrapping up. We're going to do some shout outs, but then we'll pass on the raid to someone. Maitreyi, what do you got going on?
I am multi-plays games on YouTube make system agnostic or multi-system development content that centers the GM and player experience.
Yeah, you do. I am Steven, and I make system-specific games that center the GM and player experience. It's called Huckleberry. It's a Weird West action horror game. If you like Hellboy, if you like Tombstone, it's perfect for you. Links are in the chat, huckleberryrpg.com. We have a backer kit launching very, very soon. And you definitely want to sign up for the mailing list to get notifications on that, because if you back in the first 48 hours, you get a free dice tray. And, you know, what's not to love about that? So, yeah, check out the links. Sign up for the backer kit. Jeff, what do we got going on with Lollygaggers?
Yeah, man, we got more games coming. Tomorrow, we can see these exact same people playing through Call of Cthulhu, as we are in the Yucatan. We are below a pyramid in the jungle where crazy stuff is happening. I don't know if Long has watched the episode, but it's pretty crazy. And then Monday, we've got my game, which is called We're in Danger. And we're basically doing like a homage to Hellboy and Doom Patrol and all that kind of stuff. As we are kind of doing like a Die Hard, but like instead of terrorists, it's a giant tree that's inside the building. Tuesday, we got some Hardwired Island. Which is a game Kipster's been running for us. We're Cyberpunk Millennials. Next Thursday, we've got some Legend in the Mist, which is our rustic fantasy game. And next Friday, we'll have some Conan as we're starting up our new Conan Hyborian Tales using the new Monolith game system. But yeah, that is what we got. Is there anything else you wish to speak about, Game Master?
I think I'm good, except I do have to point out the game we're playing on Monday is called We're in Danger, and it's probably the best game ever created. It is a crap ton of fun, and you definitely need to join us to watch it be played, because I'm a Hellboy fan, so you're going to like the riff on Hellboy and Doom Patrol that's happening.
I mean, if that's the case, then Stephen, why weren't you hanging out watching that?
I died that day, so I wasn't able to make it.
That's a fair reason. Kind of alarming that you're running this game though. 5 days later,
I was resuscitated later.
Puts a lot of this game in perspective.
He only died
still in the
a
house.
little.
All right. Trying to get a.
The raid's going.
One's going.
It literally just like instantly rated. Okay. Well, I don't know if we're still here or not. So bye.